Hey everyone, welcome back to DaheroTV, your go-to place for everything Magic the Gathering. I'm your boy Dahero, and today we're talking about the top 10 most overhyped commanders in the past years, right? So these commanders had everyone super excited, but when they hit the battlefield, they just didn't live up to the hype. Well, let's dive right in. Alright, so first up, we have Lord Xander, the Collector from Streets of New Capenna. Everyone thought Xander was going to be a game changer with his discard, mill, and life loss abilities, but here's the deal. Xander costs a whopping 7 mana to play, making him slow to the party, and guess what? As soon as he shows up, everyone targets him. It's like painting a big kick me sign on your back. So while he sounds scary, keeping him around long enough to matter is a real challenge. And at one point, everyone was saying to ban him. You know, he's big, ban him. He might be too powerful, but you know, it wasn't there. So imagine you finally get Xander on the field, only to have him immediately hit by a removal spell like Swords of Plowshare or Path to Exile. It's frustrating. Players were excited about the forcing their opponents to discard the mill cards, but in reality, Xander rarely sticks around long enough to make a big impact. He ends up being more of a one-shot effect rather than a continuous threat. Next on the list, we got Garth One-Eye from Modern Horizons 2. So Garth was supposed to be an amazing card because he can cast some of the most iconic spells in Magic history, like Black Lotus, Shivan Dragon. But here's the catch: you have to tap him to use these spells, which means he has to survive a turn. Plus, sometimes the spells you need just aren't there, and protecting Garth is harder than it looks. So while it looks cool to cast these classic spells, Garth often leaves players wanting more. Think about it: you're excited to use Garth to cast a free Black Lotus, but before you get a chance to cast him, someone will just destroy him, murder, Doomblade, or Path to Exile, whatever. He's gone. It's like getting hyped for a blockbuster movie only for it to be cancelled on opening night. The versatility and nostalgia are great, but they don't make up for the practical issues of keeping Garth alive and keeping the right spells when you need them. At number 3, we got our boy Jin-Gitaxias, Progress Tyrant from Kamigawa Neon Destiny. Jin can double your spells and counter your opponent's first spell each turn. Sounds amazing, right? Well, not so fast. Jin costs 7 mana to play, and keeping him on the battlefield is tough. Opponents will do anything to get rid of him. While his abilities can be super powerful, it's hard to keep him around long enough to really make a difference. Picture this: you play Jin, excited to double your next big spell, but he gets hit with a Doomblade. All the excitement's gone because since we're playing in the group and commander, right? If someone plays a spell, they'll counter that spell, and then someone will just team up and then cast their second spell to just kill Jin. So the idea of copying spells and countering opponents is great, but the reality is that most players won't let him stay on the board long enough for him to enjoy his benefits. Coming in at number 4 is Chulane, Teller of Tales from Throne of Eldraine Brawl decks. Chulane can draw cards, bounce creatures, and ramp mana, right? Which got everyone excited, but here's the thing. Chulane costs 5 mana and needs a bunch of creatures to really shine. In the game of full board wipes and removal, that's not easy. Plus, opponents quickly figure out how to counter him, so while he has potential, Chulane often doesn't deliver the consistent results players hope for. So imagine you got a board full of creatures, ready to draw a ton of cards with Chulane, and then bam, someone casts Wrath of God. Or farewell, your whole plan is gone. Chulane's amazing when everything goes right, but in a typical commander game, that's a very rare occurrence. The hype was real, but in reality, it often falls short. Next, we have Korvold, Fae-Cursed King from Throne of Eldraine, another one from the Brawl decks. Korvold draws cards, gets bigger every time you sacrifice something, which sounds awesome, but he needs a constant supply, right, of things to sacrifice, and it doesn't always happen. Plus at 5 mana, he's not cheap, and he often gets taken out before he can do much. So while Korvold can have some explosive moments, he often doesn't live up to the hype. Think of it like this: you're ready to draw a bunch of cards, make Korvold very huge, but you run out of things to sacrifice, or he gets removed. It's like gearing up for a big feast only to find out the food is gone. Korvold can be powerful, but maintaining that power is a lot harder than it looks. Next up, we got Atraxa, Bacter's Voice from Commander 2016. Was another highlight anticipated commander. Her proliferate ability and impressive stats made her seem like a perfect fit for multiple strategies. But despite her versatility, Atraxa often led to repetitive gameplay and became an overused archetype, right? The initial assignment didn't hold up as players realized her limitations, right? She was mostly in proliferate counters, right? Planeswalkers, super friends. Basic strategy they've been using, infect, right? That's basically it. And then you just win the game. So basically, imagine building a Atraxa, a deck around Atraxa, only you find out everyone, like I mentioned earlier, is doing the same thing. It quickly became one of those boring and predictable decks, game style, right? Atraxa was so high for her flexibility, but the same flexibility made her a bit too common and eventually less exciting. At number 7, we got my boy. This is my boy. He's my group up commander. It's Kenrith, the Return King from Thornhill Eldraine. He promised versatility with his multiple color abilities while he can do a bit of everything. This jack of all trades approach often meant he wasn't particularly great at only one thing. Players expected a game-breaking commander, but Kenrith's performance often fell short of his lofty expectations. Picture this, you play Kenrith, excited to use abilities, but they end up being a bit underwhelming. It's like having a Swiss Army knife with a bunch of tools, but none of them are particularly sharp. Kenrith can do a lot, but sometimes feels like he's not doing enough to really dominate. So most of the time, Kenrith is basically a Thassa's Oracle combo deck, right? But you can tweak him a little bit. That's me, sorry guys, I'm biased with Kenrith. I like him as a group hug, but most of the time, I rarely get to play him in Battlefield because he gets taken out, right? And at number 8, we got Omnath, Locus of Creation from Zendikar Rising, had players hyped for his powerful landfall abilities. However, his 4-color mana requirement made him difficult to build around effectively. While he can be explosive under the right conditions, the challenge of maintaining the consistent mana base often held him back from reaching his full potential. Think about trying to balance your 4 colors of your mana base. It's like judging your 4 balls at once. Sometimes you drop one, everything falls apart. Omnath can be incredibly powerful, but the mana requirements make him tricky to use effectively, leaving him mana players frustrated. Especially if you look at his abilities, right? These abilities trigger only 4 times. Landfall triggers trigger 4 times in a turn, unless you blink him. That's the only way, or you wait a full turn. So that's a little thing that people try to make him going around landfall triggers with blink. Right? It's basically, it is what it is, right? At number 9, we got Narset Enlightened Exile. So Narset Enlightened Exile from March of the Machine was another highly anticipated commander. Her ability gave creature power, prowess, and cast spells from graveyard sound incredible. But like many others on this list, so players quickly found that keeping Narset on the board was easier said than done. So imagine swinging on Narset, ready to cast free spells from graveyards and pump your creatures with prowess. But before you can even attack, someone casts a removal spell like Murder or Terminate and she's gone. It's like getting ready for an epic performance only for power to go out just before you start. So Narset's abilities are awesome, but keeping her around long enough to use them is a real challenge. And the hype was there, but it wasn't. I haven't seen much players play it. Our last card of the day, our commander, we got Sauron the Dark Lord from Lord of the Rings. Sauron looked like he would dominate with his powerful abilities and flavorful design. However, his reliance on specific synergies and the difficulty of keeping him on the battlefield often left players disappointed. Despite the hype, Sauron struggled to live up to expectations. And there you have it, guys, the top 10 most overhyped commanders of the past 5 years. Do you agree with our list, or do you think we missed someone? Let us know in the comments below if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Thanks for watching DaheroTV, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep on brewing.